Okay. I didn't even notice this was up top. Having fun is a big thing for you guys, I guess, huh? So the first card that comes out here is, especially what you need to know about the month of May, is the Five of Wands. Being a Sagittarius is hard, especially when you guys take responsibility as seriously as you guys do. It's very hard to kind of just say, fuck it, let's have fun. But this is a need. This is a necessity. Remember that you are still someone that is meant to be on this earth to enjoy life and not be a slave to it. Not be a slave to capitalism. Not be a slave to anything that you believe is holding you back. You have to try to find the joy in what you do. Because right now, with everything that's going on, it's very easy to get lost in work. It's very easy to get lost in everything that you're doing. And especially considering that there's a goal in mind. Right? There's only something that you're trying to do. Somewhere you're trying to go. If there's always a goal post right there, remember that is not about getting to the destination, it's the journey, and how you go through that journey is one of the things that will stay with you longer than you getting to that destination, promise you. Because when you get to that place, right, what do you got left to do? You got another goal, you got a plan. Or you can sit there and enjoy it, but you also have to think, what does our minds do? We always think back into the past, think of the time that we had a good time. And the last thing you want to do is regret living your life. Okay, guys. So the biggest message I'm getting from the Knight of Wands is live your life. Don't let your goals be the forefront of your life. Not necessarily. Remember to live. Let's see. Okay. Tell us more about the Knight of Wands. Tell us more of what we need to know about the Knight of Wands for the month of May. Yep, Knight of Cups. Some of you guys have also, communicated some romance to, dating a little bit more, kind of going out and having a little more fun. But there's, I feel like the Knight of Cups as well is a very emotional card in the sense of, like completing small emotional desires, right? Nothing super big, but going after those small pleasures, and making it a journey out of it. I feel like some of you guys may want to refresh a lot of your romance and your relationships, have a little more fun, be more eccentric with your relationship, have more passion, have more, fantasy, and bring that into your relationships. Some of you guys want to bring out a little more creativity and a lot more fire to the projects that you've already started. Or maybe you guys are starting something and you're fairly new, but you are ready and inspired to go ahead and move those forward. So I like that. And then, the King of Swords coming up. But you guys are also being very logical and very detached. You guys are looking at this from a very disciplinary standpoint. And what this relationship, business, career path, or life path needs is life. It doesn't need logic. Of course, you have every opportunity and all the time in the world to budget, to plan, to get things in order, but it's going to require creativity that's going to make your stuff stand out. It's going to make your relationship stand out. It's going to make your job and your business, whatever it is, stand out. You have to add that creativity. And the creativity comes from emotions and feeling, and you got to integrate that in there. The second you start being detached, just thinking, okay, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this, and not think about and how you can make this yours and make this special and unique to you, you're going to end up looking like every other business. It may not get, or, the relationship will run stale. So you want to try to capture this energy here. I feel like a lot of you guys are using your creative gifts into your, into your relationships, into your businesses to expand them. Okay? I really feel like you guys are doing that here. Justice. Some of y'all I think some of you guys are getting married, or maybe you guys are fantasizing about getting married, fantasizing about something that in regards to union or unity. And I think some of you guys also want to balance what you want and what is fun, and then balance it with the things that are needed and necessary. But I feel like somebody may have proposed to you, believe it or not. Because maybe somebody's offered their hand in love, or maybe this is something that you want. You want someone to offer their cup of love to you. But I kind of get this feeling that, you may have an intention to go out and do that yourself. You may know what you want. You may know why you want to settle down. But the Justice card does talk about unity. I don't think this is about necessarily a divorce, but I could see that there may be some freedom here and new desires coming to life, if that makes sense. Maybe some old dreams and fantasies that were put to rest in a relationship has now come back up and is, starting to spark, if that makes sense, starting to inspire you to go and find that dream, or find that, or to live that fantasy, or live that life that you've always probably wanted. Okay? But it takes balance first, give and take. But I feel like you have to understand that you need to take sometimes and not just give. And then vice versa, if you've been taking too much. Or if you've been taking, period, So, why is the message for Capricorn the Knight of Wands? Well, because of the Eight of Swords. You guys are feeling trapped. You guys are not... Yeah. The Eight of Swords will definitely tell us that you guys are feeling stuck. And stuck in your mind, okay? I think the world around you isn't actually as tight or as bad as your mind is drumming it all up to be. I think it's suffocating you and it's making you panic. But the thing is that the situation just calls for more balance. You have to have a little bit more... You have to live your life instead of living it in your mind, because if you do that, you start to forget the reality of situations. You start to, your mind will start to exaggerate and blow stuff out of proportion. You have to be in the now and in the moment and see things at face value, rather than, assuming how things could get worse, assuming things are, not as they are corrected to be, and feeling like you have no time and no space to do anything, when in actuality you have all the time and space you need. You just have to see it and detail it. You have to really look at it, right? And the biggest thing too is that if you ever want something, you have to make time for it. And I think for some of you guys, you may be feeling like you don't have a lot of time to do the things that you want to do. You don't have a lot of space to do anything you want to do. You don't even have a lot of time to travel if that's something that you guys have been wanting to do. But if you don't, you got to look outside of yourself. There's maybe people around you that can help you, the Knight of Cups. Or, someone that can, help you out and, create the balance that you need. Maybe you need to stop worrying so much about taking care of things on your own and be willing to receive some of that. Because I think some of this too has to do with you having to do things on your own. You have to do this on your own. But I feel like there's somebody out there around you right now that can help you. But you have to vocalize your needs. And and remember that you don't live on this earth to do everything on your own. It's more satisfying. I'm not gonna lie to you. It is very satisfying to do things single-handedly and push your way through. But it's also totally normal and natural to ask for help. And it's totally normal and natural to get and receive a helping hand sometimes. And I know you guys would love to extend yourself to other people, especially if they're in your inner circle and they're as intimate as this reading is saying they are. Don't let yourself get to the point where you don't feel like, or you don't remember that there's people around you that are willing to extend themselves for you too. You know what I mean? Because you guys are willing to do that for others. Be willing to, to allow others to do that for you as well. Okay? All right. How is this affecting your love life? Well, the High Priestess. Why are we getting the High Priestess for Capricorn's love life? Why is Oh, that's not bad. So the reason why you're getting the High Priestess for your love life is because of the Nine of Cups and the Four of Wands. You guys want to move up in your relationship, in your life status. You guys want to either move house, move to somewhere that you can definitely expand. Like maybe you guys want to move into a bigger house, start having children. Or maybe you want a place where you can start children whenever you decide to. But it's your dream home, it's your dream relationship, it's your dream business. You want to get in that area. And I feel like when it comes to the relationship, with the High Priestess coming up like this, I kind of get the sense that, what the High Priestess is saying is that, receiving is one of the biggest parts, right? Being emotionally open. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, how this is impacting your relationship, it's calling for you to receive more support, receive more love, receive more care and and appreciation, even, and whatever. Receive is the biggest. This is the biggest word that's coming out for me. I feel like you guys have definitely been more passive in your relationship because you're focused on, living your life and enjoying your life, but also getting to your destination. And I feel like also you guys understand that in order for there to be a relationship to have with your dream house and your dream business, you have to be emotionally available for that relationship. Because the biggest thing that could create a home is how everybody acts, how everybody interacts with each other, how everyone feels, how everybody communicates, how everybody deals with one another. And I feel like the High Priestess is a really good card to get. Now, the thing is, though, is with the Eight of Swords is kind of interesting. Because you have the Eight of Swords here to kind of explain to us why the Knight of Wands is coming up. Well, there's a lot of being stuck in your thoughts and not having a lot of fun and living your life, right? Thinking about all of the things that you got to do and keeping yourself trapped in the responsibilities of everything instead of enjoying your life and living, and enjoying every step, moment to moment. So the relationship and how it's affected, it may be on a standstill because the focus is on trying to get to where you want to be in your life, trying to move into that beautiful house, trying to marry that beautiful person, trying to build that amazing business that can eventually set you off, right? That will, help you grow as an individual. But it takes time. But in order for this to truly happen, you have to be emotionally available for this instead of kind of keeping this at bay. You know what I mean? I don't think you guys do it on purpose, obviously, because you really want to grow with the relationship that you have. But it's going to require you to be more emotionally open here. And for those of you that are already emotionally open, this is helping you get to your goals by understanding that there is a need to receive more in the relationship, but there's also a need to give in the relationship. I feel like how this is impacting relationship is that you're always taking, or I think not always taking. I think there's a lot of taking that that you're doing here in the relationship, because we have Justice here. Remember, I think there's a lot of doing in regards to work, but is there a lot of doing in the relationship? You know what I mean? Is that balance being attributed to the relationship? It doesn't look like it with the High Priestess there, right? Because you're so focused on what you want to do. You're so, you feel trapped in the responsibility of the things that you got going on, that living your life and doing, giving the balance that's needed for the relationship may not be necessarily the priority. All right. So there may need to be that balance shifted here too. Okay. So love is definitely a big factor. So let's go ahead and take a look at the outcome of your love life and see what we, what we end up with. What's the overall outcome for the month of May? The Eight of Pentacles. Hard work. And I feel like hard work is definitely in order anyway. But the thing is, I think the biggest thing that you're going to be working hard on is everything. You're going to work on balancing everything. Working on having more fun. Focus on doing the work that you need to do. If anything, I think the month of May, actually, for some of you guys have planned this already. This month of May is actually a lenient month for you. You guys are going to have a lot more fun. You're going to focus a lot more on your needs, because when this month is over, you're going to go back to work. That's what it kind of looks like. So you're enjoying life. You're just being in your relationship. You're not forcing anything. You're not making things happen in your relationship. You're just being content with the relationship that you have. You're proud of it. You're in love with the person that you're with. You're happy with the life that you have right now. So you're just enjoying it. You're letting things be, and you're also relieving the stress and the barricades that you guys have around your mind right now. That kind of reminds you of everything that you need to do. So in a way, I feel like a lot of you guys already are doing what I already suggested in the very beginning of this video, which was have more fun, do more things, enjoy your journey, enjoy the life that you have right in the moment, because yes, you're going to make dramatic changes. You're going to put in hard work that will take time to develop, but it will increase immensely when you put your head down after you've treated yourself. So I think this is a great month to treat yourself, a great month to stabilize. I mean, it's your sister sign after all that we're in, right? Taurus season. So you can stabilize, you can ground, and you can enjoy yourself. And then when the time comes in Gemini season, you're going to be back at it again, working hard, focusing on the dreams that you have in place. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Messenger Oracle here. Let's see, what does Capricorn get for the month of May from the Messenger of Oracle? the messenger oracle rather. Seek the lesson. Very similar to Scorpio. Seek the lesson. I think there's a situation that's come up where, you know, like I said, everything has a reason. Everything you can learn from, especially from breaks, especially from time away, and especially from your own stresses and anxieties. So I think the biggest thing you have to look at is that if you're overindulging in an area, or you're overstimulating one side of your life, you may have to look at figuring out what else needs to be stimulated, what else needs to be balanced, what needs to counteract that, what needs to be leveled, because justice comes up when there's something that's not balanced in your life. And I think right now there's something that you need to see to help you move forward in an accelerated rate, right? By balancing yourself and having a balanced, focused sort of mentality going forward. You got a lot of things coming up for you, but the situation that you're in right now is going to help you to understand what you need to understand going forward. Everybody needs a vacation, Capricorn, including you. And I think that's one of the biggest lessons is being taught today, okay? Or being taught this month. So keep your eyes open. Don't let yourself get into this rhetoric, okay? Okay? Know that you always have someone outside of you that is willing to love you, willing to help you if need be. You have a foundation. So just understand that you can rely on people in that foundation, because you work very hard to make sure that the people that you have in that foundation are someone that you can trust. Okay?